introduce you the panelists here. So let's start with the Mayor of Elbasan. You've met him earlier, Mr. Gledian Llatja. Then next to him is Mr. Hektor, Ciftja, head of the City Council and also in the second capacity as parent. Then we have Elior, Vila, head of the information department of the University of Elbasan, and Ermal, Mr. Rula, a businessman from the company of Europa.
It's complicated to say.
And next to me, a student, Mayor of Elbasan, student from the Faculty of Law, University of Ciftja. So, and our topic is the youth of today and the challenges they are facing. Now, of course, I could introduce the panel with what I think the youth, and especially the youth in Albania, is facing, but I think we have a competent young man here who knows much better than I what the challenges are. And my suggestion is, tell us one or two things that come to your mind, which are for you, your colleagues' challenge, and then we go through the esteemed panel and listen what they have to say. And one thing is, I don't want to make it easy for you. I don't let you out easy, but I won't make it hard either. So we don't really hold it against you if you don't have the perfect answer, but we want an honest answer. We want some added value when we leave the panel, and so let's be very honest and frank. Let's start there. What you say are the problems of your daily life and your challenge. Oh yeah, with the microphone.
Sure.
Thank you.
So let's say that one of the most common problems that happens in Albania is the practice in almost all of Albanian schools. I mean, we all learn theory day by day. That's okay. That's totally okay. But we should put this knowledge even in practice. So my opinion is that we should give the opportunity to the student to make a little bit more practice, because after we finish university, we get a degree, like a paper, but then after we get the degree, we don't know what we are really going to do, and if we are really able to do our job correctly. So I think that the most important one is the practice in Albanian school, not only the theory.
So you are studying law, you have finished, have you during your university time seen the court from inside?
I'll take myself as an example. During my bachelor years, because I'm a master degree now, I never worked in the court. I never saw a judge working, a prosecutor or a lawyer. So that's what I'm talking about.
And you have not time spent, let's say, at the law office, how they prepare a case, how they argue a case?
I could do that, but on my own.
On your own, okay.
Yes.
Now we're talking about the institutional...
What the institution offers to us.
Right. Okay, would you be so kind to pass on the microphone? And we are very eager to hear...
We are two lawyers here to challenge us for the panel.
We're two lawyers?
We are two lawyers here to challenge us.
Yeah, okay. Well, but I'll ask you not as a lawyer, but as a politician who's yeah. The question is, what it's all right. I mean, are you working, do you see that problem? Is it new for you, or if it's not new for you? What answers have you looked at? From the politician. Could you please speak loudly?
No, of course. Well, I started with the activation of the poly a lot of time ago when I was a student. So I have a lot of time now that I am in the politician. So as a politician or as an administrator of Elbasan, as you said before, well, we have some problem here with the youth, of course, because we need a lot of practice. The student needs a lot of practice. And either in our institution, we took a lot of students to make practice in the municipality, or even in the institution where I worked before. And it's very important for a student, or either for a person who wants to work in their profile, just to have some practice, not to start directly. Because as you said, when I finished university at the time, the professor said to me, look, the school didn't learn how to work. You have to learn in the work that you have to work.
Yeah, but excuse me if I interrupt you, but this is exactly what he said. So you are repeating what he said. So what we want is our answers to solve the problem.
To resolve the problem. For the student that we have here in Elbasan, or even for the young people who study abroad in Tehran or in other universities, of course, we have a program for making practice in municipality or in other institutions of Elbasan. Now we have a lot of young people who are making practice in all the institutions of Elbasan, in municipality, in either I think in the court they make some practice now, in all the institutions that we have in Elbasan. We have 1 year of paid practice. We have some for the students who were in the last year, I think. It's true. Yeah. Only for the students who are in the last year. They are coming to make the practice in the institution.
Okay. See what your colleague says. He's also here the microphone. So you're also from the political side, but also administration. Of course, as a parent, how old are your children?
I'm head of IT department, so...
How old are you? Also father?
No, not yet.
Oh. I have the wrong briefing now. Okay, so you talk as a...
But thank you, it's nice, so...
Oh.
I'm not yet. Okay, before I try to get involved in a discussion with what the student said, I would like to spend some moment just to... First, I'm very pleased to be part of this event, and I want to thank the organizers, the Elite Travel Academy, and the municipality of Elbasan, the mayor here. This is a wonderful event which has a very profound mission. At first I was a little bit skeptical to let's say, to get in contact with the organizers and with the people who were responsible for this conference. But after a few moments, I understood that this is one very important event because of a very simple reason. And the simple reason was, the motivation was to give hope to the youth of Albania, to the youth of Elbasan, which unfortunately now sees the hope elsewhere but here. And for that reason, I think that this conference will succeed with the help of all the factors here, with Elior Academy, with local institutions and so on. Now, I agree with what the student said, that we have a problem with kind of combination of theory and praxis. But this is partially part of the education system. So the study programs are not built exactly with a considerable part of the praxis in mind, which means that first we have to look at these study programs to see what we can do within the university, how to enlarge this practical part, and how to motivate the students to get involved in the project within university, and then out of it. So, for example, in cooperation with the institution here around, as I have heard, they have done really good jobs with students who have graduated and who have been so in training or practices around here. But I can talk for the IT branch, since the focus of the conference, as I see, is on the coding, multimedia, digital marketing, and so on. I've realized this problem, so time is gone. We are trying to, let's say, to build kind of facilities in order for students to let's say, to spend considerable time so with training practices, so to touch the things with their hands and to be somehow prepared after their graduation. So when they go to a company, at least they will have some part of practice. They will not be fully professional, but they will not face a company so with, let's say, empty space in this practical part. So, and I believe that this is something that can be done. So, with support of different factors, so with cooperation with different companies, with the business, we can really build, let's say, a successful framework for these students and the graduates, in order to give them hope that it's really worth it to stay here and to work at this place for Elbasan and for all everything.
Well, what would be your idea, like the first 1 or 2 steps which are needed? Is it a matter of understanding, a matter of funding, of money, a matter of teaching capabilities?
I think it's a combination of all of them.
Yeah.
So the teachers or the professors, so I think most of the professors have experience, or some of them have been studying abroad or have been graduated abroad, but also here. So the funding, it's another issue that can be solved also. And well, it's the most important thing is the willing to do that.
Okay.
If all the actors are willing to do that, so I think that we can find a very good balance between them to make sure that the students really can spend time for training or practice within the institution before they go out in the companies and so on.
Do you think that among the faculty, the awareness is there and the will?
Well, most of them, yes. So the majority.
Okay.
But not. I think it is possible. So I'm always hopeful that if it isn't, so it must change, because the time will require it. So we cannot be left behind. We should think ahead and move forward.
Okay. All right. Thank you so far. Let's pass on. We have. I mixed you up, to be honest, with the politician, and you're from the city council, right?
Just to introduce myself, I am from the city council. I am the chairman of the city council, but at the same time, I am a university teacher. And one of the subjects that I teach in the university is communication and media. The question raised by the student is a real challenge, but in my view it's a challenge that we are, as a society, are trying to overcome. And some regulations are being made from the government and from the pressure of interest groups. We are trying to build, not as a municipality council, but on a political level, we are trying to build a system of apprenticeship and a working system of collaboration between universities and industries. Of course, there will be a generation like the generation of the guy who might be lacking the trend because the situation, how the situation is now, but in very soon, it's a matter of years, that we are going to have, we will have an established system of apprenticeships and collaboration and working collaboration between industries and universities. The first examples have been made in the field of nursery, some good examples in the training of doctors. My concern as municipality council, as I'm taking the lead to talk and my members of the municipality council, is to state the fact that all the municipality council should feel, everybody of us should feel responsible for energizing these youth, these young people. Because I feel a lot of energy here. I feel as a teacher, as a municipality councillor, I feel that youngsters have a lot of energy. They have knowledge, they have power, they have ideas. And fortunately, very lucky for me, they live in Elbasan. And they just need to push us, to push politicians for making changes. Of course, the fact that we had such presentation, great presentations for you, was very, very inspiring. And I saw your presentations as a kind of light in the end of the tunnel. So there is hope because we have presentation like this and we have such an interest. So one of the challenges is to be overcome. The other challenge to be overcome is that in Albania we have a high level of digital illiteracy, and we need to work on that and to push reforms on that, to raise our voice as a council and to embrace the voice of the young people who are interested in that field. And we also, as a council, we are more in touch with people and we see that they want to advance, they want to learn, they want to take degrees, but they want to take real degrees, working degrees, functional degrees, and degrees related to mostly to a kind of digital environment, what you call the fourth industrial revolution or the fourth revolution. I mean, the fourth revolution is coming, and teenagers and youngsters here are ready for that. We just, as policy makers, and I'm addressing here the mayor, we need to create or to push to create the most favorable climate for these things to move forward. Thank you.
Do you think it's interpolitical, apart from different parties, something that all parties are involved in or should be involved in education? Do you see?
There is a vision in both in politics. There is a vision, and they are working on it. But as everywhere in developing countries, politics is a bit slower, more careful than the movements which come from business and movements which come from the youngsters who are interested in, for example, startups and digital things. And digital things. Sorry, I'm heard now.
Okay, thank you much. So far now we hear the business side from a businessman. So what's your comment to the students?
Yeah, also again from my side I want to thank that give this opportunity. Finally I will say to put all the persons that are involved, let's say, because let's say the student that want the job and the business that want also the employer. So it's a good possibility to put together, because what I'm saying in the last period is missing this connection between these two parties. So my point of view, need to be to find a middle connection between these two parties that I hope in one moment academy like Elite Academy or similar like that will start, let's say, can be okay, I don't want to say it can be a private company or can come also from politicians or from government, so to be organized. One of the main points for us is that really we see that there are a lot of graduated people around Albania, also in Elbasan, but sometimes are not the right skills needed for the job or what is requesting the company, so the market. Going to finish some studies that we found on the market, thousands of economics, and then we some type of employees that are not connected to only these two main processes. From my point of view, the first creation of this and to be asked for the business, what is the business asking, not only for today, but on the next future. So in a way to create the right curriculum for the persons that are studying on the university. In this way, we will create really an opportunity to this young generation, a real opportunity for employment, fast employment, as soon as looking inside. As I'm having, because this is it's not only speaking only for high-tech graduated or university persons, so sometimes what is missing here, and from my, what I have seen, let's say, country like Germany or Italy, figure out not only from from university people, but who doing the real job comes from the high school. So the main employer that here is missing, the real professional people are missing, is not coming anymore from mostly the last 30 years. It's not growing up anymore, the real professional people that has been coming time before, like I'm saying, the real professional telling from the medium mechanical, medium electrical specialists. So these people are missing also, without speak for the new, for the new type of employer, like mechatronic or electronic, but the medium one, I'm not speaking all the time engineer, because will not be the engineer that will do sometimes the job. We need also this need of qualification, let's say. And mostly what I see on the new generation, everyone is focused to finish a high school. Probably I'm not expressing to the university, but high school, let's say like this. And then let's forget, let's say, the part of professional school. This is trying, it's coming out, it's coming out sometime, let's say, the professional leave it as the second choice, so the people that don't have the opportunity to go to university finish to do this type of choose. But, good choices. I mean, as my point of view, we need to have also this empty space has been created for the last 30 years. And this, I want to take also a phrase that is the Prime Minister, that we have really a lot of jobs, but we are missing the professionals. So this is true. So it's not, we are suffering in reality this subject, so we're suffering every day. Because another bad thing that is happening, that also some good professionals trying to escape this but again, this doesn't mean that the state 3 or 4 will be empty, so it will generate, so sometimes some employee, good employer also for Germany, this is not a bad thing, so that means we have also some good quality, we can create profession. But again, let's say the number of these professionals are a little bit more bigger, someone will say also the same thing, creating more opportunities.
No, I just wanted to further the discussion of the here, and I'd like to emphasize not the dark side, because before you come here, everybody knows the dark side of the situation. I mean, the dark side of the situation is the high level of illiteracy and the high level of digital literacy. And the dark side of the situation is related to the lack of proper collaboration between universities and industry. But there is, as I said, there is light in the end of the tunnel, and we see that politicians like our mayor are very confident in and believe in changing things toward the future age of the curriculum to come. And he believes in that, and the council believes in that. And also I do believe in a kind of liberal economy. So I believe that the initiatives like that of the e-travel or your participation and the initiatives like the e-academy would be, why not, the flowers for such a change. And believe me, the youngsters, high school students and university students are ready to embrace that change. We just need the proper milestones to identify themselves with. And activities like yours are providing the points of reference, points of reference for the youngsters who are involved and who are very willing to do this. And I can invite any of the youngsters to write proposals and discuss the proposals with members of the South Council. And every member of the South Council is very interested, not officially, but interested to promote any initiative of the youngsters as far as startup initiatives and as far as technology.
I want to continue by addressing probably adapting the curriculum of universities to other market requires, which means that we have a kind of gap between, let's say, the subject that the students learn at the university and other market requires. We have been trying to narrow the gap, which means that we've been trying to put in the curriculum subjects which are closer to the market requirement. For example, programming, networking, or databases, and things like that. This is really a problem which needs to be addressed on, let's say, the multi-dimensional level. Right from the university or from the political, let's say, agenda, because universities alone cannot do so much if they do not have the support of the government and proper politics which support the funding for the projects and things like that. And I don't agree that Albania has been so, let's say, behind with respect to digitalization. Or even one of the German colleagues here told me that we are pretty high on the list. But the youth needs some kind of orientation on how to get involved in this development and let's say to move forward with the same speed as the countries around here, or with the same goals, let's say, because these youngs need some kind of orientation in order to, let's say, to know what will they do after the graduation. So the study is something, but after the graduation time is something else. And for that reason, so universities alone cannot do it. So I mean, to really keep this young graduates here, but a kind of cooperation between different factors, so it's necessary. And unfortunately, in the recent years, so if you look at the budget for the higher education, so we have basically some kind of gaps, which according to promises we will see some increase in the education.
Okay, yeah, then finally the last statement from the mayor.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate this really concern because for the technical, I just want to show this when we are speaking in the initial, when we took the initiative with this, I talked to him about the cases that we missed in our here, and it was really, I was really disappointed about missing this kind of lesson because it was an issue company was not continuing to invest a lot of to make big investment and to produce some electronic part for the parts for the industry of automobiles. And at the time I worked in the Ministry of Infrastructure and Energy in Tirana, and I had a lot of contact with this company. And I really that company comes to Elbasan to invest in metallurgy industry, not industrial area that we have here. They come to Elbasan, see the area here, they love everything was ready for investment. And after that they come the technical school that we have here in Elbasan. This is the curriculum, this is everything. And the only thing that we miss is investment when they go in here is here. We miss it because we don't have a kind of mechatronic here, a curriculum of mechatronic here in our school. And when we talked with Alice at the time, I said, well, why we don't have this? Well, it's very, the curriculum, the right curriculum here in Elbasan, we can open the course, we can train in 2 years all the people who work, technical people who can work there in this kind of industry. And at the time there's about 1,000 of employees that we want to employ here. And we really need here, and now when I'm mayor, I was either before I was a perfect advisor. We make a very good group of technical schools, the director of technical school, the director of work office here, the director of professional training center that we have here in Elbasan, the municipality, and some of the most important institutions here in Vila, just to focus or to orient the young people to the market that we want to develop in Elbasan. Here we have a lot of potential, of course. As maybe you know, Elbasan has a lot of potential. We have our people work a lot. They're hard workers. They want to work. They want they want the good for all the society and for everyone here. And now we think, I think we are ready just to be all the institutions here are ready for the investment that we can make here in Elbasan for the industry. Now we are trying to make some good investment in the combinado it's another industrial area that we have here. And it was the first tax-free zone for the industry that we have in Albania at the moment. We are making a lot of investment there for the company that comes in Elbasan to invest. We have to be ready for that. They are being ready. We are being ready all the curriculum for the business that wants to come here to invest. And I think that our future will be very, very, very bright. So,
thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I'd like to collaborate with the students. If you what you've heard and what you've written here, on a scale from 1 to 10, to the grading, from 1 to 10, what will be the situation in 2 years? Will it have improved significantly? Should be an open-hearted opinion? something like to say? How do you?
As a Dutch student, I like politics, so I follow the mayor, what he does in politics, what he does for our city. And I know that his main focus is always been the youth. So I think he will make whatever is possible to improve the state of Romanian universities. And from a scale of 1 to 10, I would say a 9.
Oh,
I do believe, yes.
that is very optimistic. Thank you. Speaking, I didn't expect that. Yeah, very good. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Very, very short, please.
I strongly believe that cooperation with business community of university and with other actors is vital for significance. And in my personal perspective, Elior has been my student so many years ago, and I can say now that he's the best example of the youth who wants to work and live here in so successful family. Thank you.
Well, I like to that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. My personal wish for the next panel we have, and don't take it personally, is that we have 1 or 2 ladies up here.